Have you ever heard of a war that started over one person's beauty and lasted for 10 long years? Today, let's dive into one of the greatest stories ever told, Homer's Iliad. This isn't just a tale of swords and sandals. It's an epic about rage, pride, and the tragic costs of war. Our story kicks off in the 10th and final year of the Trojan War. The Achaeans, who you might know as the Greeks, have been camped outside the mighty walls of Troy for what feels like an eternity. And things are not going well. Why? Because of a major argument. Agamemnon, the leader of the Greek forces, has insulted their greatest warrior, the one and only Achilles. He takes away Briseis, a woman Achilles had claimed as a war prize. Now, if you know anything about Achilles, you know he has a legendary temper. Furious and feeling disrespected, Achilles does something drastic. He withdraws from the battle entirely. He sits in his tent, refusing to fight, and even asks his mother, the sea goddess Thetis, to persuade Zeus to help the Trojans win for a while. He wants the Greeks to feel his absence, to realize just how much they need him. And oh boy, does it work. Without Achilles, the tide of the war turns dramatically. The Trojans, led by their own champion, the noble Hector, start pushing the Greeks back towards their ships. Hector is a fascinating character. Unlike the rage-fueled Achilles, Hector is a family man. He's fighting not for glory, but to protect his city, his wife Andromache, and their infant son. There's a heartbreaking scene where he says goodbye to them, knowing he might not return. It shows you the human side of this brutal conflict. The fighting gets intense. Heroes on both sides clash in spectacular duels. We see legends like the clever Odysseus, the giant Ajax, and the dashing Diomedes performing incredible feats. But the Trojans, with Hector at their lead and the gods on their side, are relentless. The Greeks are on the brink of total defeat. Their ships are being set on fire, and panic is setting in. Agamemnon even considers giving up and sailing home. This is when Achilles' best friend, Patroclus, can't stand to watch anymore. He begs Achilles to let him wear his armor and lead their soldiers, the Myrmidons, into battle. He thinks that just the sight of Achilles' famous armor will scare the Trojans and give the Greeks a fighting chance. Achilles agrees, but with one crucial warning: push the Trojans back from the ships, but do not pursue them to the walls of Troy. Patroclus, wearing the divine armor, is a force of nature. He charges into the fray, and the plan works. The Trojans panic, thinking Achilles has returned. Patroclus fights brilliantly, driving the enemy back. But then, caught up in the heat of the moment, he forgets Achilles' warning. He pursues the Trojans all the way to the city walls, and there, his luck runs out. He's wounded by a god, and then he comes face to face with Hector. In the ensuing fight, Hector kills Patroclus, sealing his own fate. When news of Patroclus' death reaches Achilles, his world shatters. His earlier rage is nothing compared to the all-consuming grief and fury he feels now. His pride is gone, replaced by a burning need for revenge. He reconciles with Agamemnon, receives a new set of god-forged armor from Hephaestus, and returns to the battlefield. The return of Achilles is terrifying. He is no longer just a warrior. He's a storm of pure destruction, a whirlwind of death. He cuts through the Trojan ranks, searching for only one man, Hector. The Trojans flee in terror back into their city, but Hector, bound by his honor, stays outside the walls to face Achilles alone. What follows is the most famous duel in literature. The two greatest heroes of the war finally confront each other. Despite his courage, Hector is no match for the divinely enraged Achilles. Achilles chases him around the city walls before finally striking the fatal blow. But his revenge doesn't end there. In the final, horrific act of rage, Achilles ties Hector's body to his chariot and drags it in the dust around the city walls for all of Troy to see. The story could end there, in that moment of brutal vengeance, but Homer gives us one last, powerful scene. Priam, the elderly king of Troy and Hector's father, risks everything by sneaking into the Greek camp at night. He goes to Achilles' tent, not as a king, but as a grieving father, and begs for his son's body back. Seeing the old man's sorrow, Achilles finally lets his anger go. He sees his own father in Priam and understands their shared humanity and grief. He agrees to return Hector's body. The Iliad closes not with the fall of Troy, but with the funeral of Hector. It's a somber, respectful ending that reminds us that in war, there are no true winners, only loss and sorrow on all sides. It's an incredible story that has resonated for thousands of years, and for good reason. Thanks for joining me on this epic journey through the Iliad. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the greatest stories ever told. See you next time.